guys? Welcome back to the podcast, Switching Back and Forth podcast. I am Syed here with Stu. How was your Thanksgiving, Stu? Your favorite holiday?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Made some food, ate. Not too bad. How was yours?
It was good. We went out to the beach, hung out with our friend Alex, big FSU fan. Talked a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
FSU ball. It
Is
was
he ready
good.
to fire Norvell?
He stated he has no idea who Norvell is, so I think he's just in a state of denial.
Okay, just gonna pretend like none of this happened.
Yeah, I think he's just pretending that the Seminoles didn't play this year. Just a long national nightmare.
I'm not sure they did.
I did ask him if they were going to start recruiting instead of relying on the transfer portal, and he said, "I'm willing to give them one more year of transfer portal." So I don't feel bad for Florida State fans.
They don't have a recruiting class right now.
Exactly. So he said, his example was, well, it worked last year.
Yeah, you just have to get lucky, and you have to get 7 guys that are going to be NFL players, and then you're good.
He was also complaining about transfer portal when Florida State relies on the transfer portal.
Yeah. No, if your team isn't good right now, then this new era of college football is awful. It's actually bad for the kids. We should go back to not paying them.
Okay.
Get any shopping done? Did you go out Black Friday? Buy a TV? Who's buying all these TVs?
We're having a baby. We're having a baby. So
you should buy a baby TV? Like a smaller one?
Like a baby monitor? No. That's on our list of stuff to buy.
Who's buying these TVs? Have you wondered that? When was the last time your TV broke and you're like, man, need a new TV?
I mean, you forget there's 300 and something million people in this country.
I get it, but it's just I haven't had a TV
TVs are
break.
not like a yeah, but I don't know. I mean,
I haven't had a TV break.
I want to buy another TV.
Yeah, it's you buy another TV to have another TV, but the TV I have in my bedroom right now, I was free from a Black Friday sale when I was in high school. And it still works.
So typically, how I like to buy TVs is our living room gets the best TV.
Yeah.
So whenever we upgrade our living room TV, which we did last year, the old TV from the living room goes in our bedroom, and then we do the shuffle. Yeah, so we probably won't be buying a new TV until our living room TV craps out, or if our bedroom TV craps out. None of the other rooms that have TVs don't really need them. I mean, I just knocked in a super old one in my office that I'm looking at right now. If that one breaks, I mean, I guess I'll go buy one of those $200 TVs. So there you go. That's how people end up buying TVs.
I just don't understand. I mean, I've got a lot of TVs, but I don't need to buy a TV. How are all these people needing to buy TVs?
Inflation, man.
I don't think that's how it works. I don't think that's inflation.
No, that's how it works. That's inflation.
You want to talk about some of the games that happened on Thanksgiving and Black Friday?
Yeah, go ahead.
Was I right about the Dolphins? About them being the exact same team they've been, and for everyone not to believe them, and just
no, I just think they can't play in the cold. Just can't play in the cold.
Yeah, the cold thing is bad. It doesn't really make any sense because they wouldn't have won that game in any weather.
I don't know. I mean, Mike
good.
McDaniel was shivering on the sideline, so I don't think his mind was there to call the right plays.
No, that was a pretty classic game of all right, the Dolphins are in position to prove there's something different, and then to just immediately make a mistake to basically put them out of the game with a muff punt. And then for that game to never be competitive, really at any point, was kind of impressive. And Tua was actually good. Tua threw for 360 yards, 2 touchdowns. It was totally fine. if you throw for 360 yards and 2 touchdowns, I think you would expect your team to be in it, and they were never in it. Yeah, Tua's all right. Dolphins still can't do anything. They're not a very good defense, and the running game has disappeared.
Yeah, what is happening with like A-Chain? I mean, Mostert looks very slow.
Yeah,
Is like
Mostert's
Mostert
old,
just
and he's fumbled a bunch this year, so he just hasn't played. A-Chain is good. The only issue is the whole run game is predicated. They're like, we're just going to toss this outside. We're going to get the defense in space, and like A-Chain, you just need to run around people, and he's actually pretty good at that. But that's all they can do. That's it.
not.
and it's gotten worse. So they lost their right tackle for the season like 3 weeks ago, and since that they've been significantly worse running the ball. But yeah, they can't actually block. They just want to get people in space and then let A-Chain run around them, and that's the only way they can get yards running. And I think you texted me during that game when they had 2nd and goal from the 1, and they ended up turning it over on downs. Like, why didn't they run the ball 3 times? If you haven't watched them for the past 3 years, they might be, like, I don't have the numbers, but they might be the worst team in converting short yardage situations ever. Like, they're so bad at it. And I told you that 2nd and 1 is a death sentence for them. And they can turn a 2nd and 1 into a 4th and 2 like no one else. Like, it's incredible.
Okay, but still, like, why not just run the ball instead of running like these like cutesy pass plays? Like, if you think that
they've tried.
I mean, what are they supposed to do?
They've tried.
I don't know.
McDaniel, like I'm sure, like some of the stuff, like I'm still pretty high on McDaniel. I think he's doing stuff with basically no line. I'm sure like some of the personnel choices are somewhat his fault, but to his credit, he's tried everything in short yardage. Like he's tried like sneak fullback handoffs. He's tried just like bringing it outside. The only thing that works is passing on a consistent basis. It really is. And the only way their offense functions is if Tua just does stuff that only Tua can do. And I think I told you after like the Raiders game, what they were doing is unsustainable. And it's basically like these long drives where like everything's underneath, where they kind of have to be perfect on like all the 3rd downs. And in this one, they basically had like 2 4th downs where Tua was sacked on one and he overthrew somebody on one. And he makes like he basically makes like 4 bad passes and the game's over.
What about Wildcat? Bring back the Wildcat.
They can't block.
Yeah, but you
still have to block people.
Yeah, but they should be able to give A-Chain some space. Like, if he takes it from the gun, he should have some room to like shimmy and get, move around.
I can assure you, the Dolphins over the past 3 years have tried everything in short yardage. And McDaniel, like every time they get into like a 2nd and 1, he's like, well, I have to run it here because like running it is the obvious thing to do, and we should be able to do this. And then they lose a yard, and he's like, well, now it's 3rd and 2, and I have to try something else. Yeah, they can't do it. They can't convert short yardage.
Should we talk about the Packers?
Yeah, if you want. They have a good record. I don't think they're particularly good. I think they're kind of good. Good for them.
I mean, the Packers look like the Packers playing at home in the cold.
Yeah,
they didn't really like make any mistakes. They played pretty good. Christian Watson had a slow game, but Jordan Love, yeah, I don't think he turned the ball over, right? I think that's the key.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, yeah, we'll see. Good for the Packers.
Okay.
I just want the Dolphins to lose next week so we can officially be done with. Can they turn this around? They've proven they will not.
No, they're still in the hunt, man. I want them to be in the hunt for the whole remainder of the season.
But yeah, good for the Packers. real quick, the Giants Cowboys game happened. Watched very little of that. Have no idea who won.
Yeah.
Do you,
I mean,
know who
Drew
won?
Lock.
Did you watch it?
I think I watched bits and pieces of it. That was a game I didn't really plan on watching, anyways.
Yeah. Do you know who won?
I'm pretty sure the Cowboys won, right? Yeah, Cowboys won.
Yeah, the Cowboys won 27-20. Good for them.
Yeah. I want to say the Cowboys were up and then the Giants came back.
Sure.
That sounds about right.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, to the toilet bowl game of the NFC East. Have a couple every year. That was definitely one. How do they schedule these games for like Thanksgiving?
Well, the Cowboys always play, tradition. Lions always play, tradition. And then another game at night.
Yeah, but how do they pick the like opponents? Was that just supposed to be a regular? That was just supposed to be the game this week.
Yeah, I
happened to fall on Thanksgiving.
No, I think they usually try to get like something fun. Yeah, Cowboys
So
Giants.
they thought
That's
Cowboys Giants was supposed to be fun.
well, yes, the Cowboys and the Giants. That was the thing. So they just assume people are going to watch.
Okay.
You also have to factor
All
in
right.
they had 20 years of the Lions on national TV once a week or one time a year. So they have to really prop up that other game to get eyeballs.
All right, cool. I don't really want to talk about this game anymore. Next game, Bears Lions. The Lions try to lose this game very badly, but then luckily the Bears at the time of this game still had Matt Eberflus as their coach.
Yep.
And I want to say that Matt Eberflus wanted to lose this game so he could get fired. Because I don't really understand what happened in the last minute and a half of that game.
Just the last like 40 seconds. They're down. The Bears are down 3. They've come back. They're in field goal range. For whatever reason, they decide to run a quarterback draw that has no chance of ever working because they just don't block somebody at all. So Williams just gets sacked. And then they line up. They have one timeout left. They decide not to use the timeout. And it looks like they're just trying to get a few more yards to make it like an easier field goal. And you could tell there is confusion from like Williams and the players of like what are we doing? And it just got to the point where I feel like Eberflus was like, well, it's too late to call a timeout now because all looks stupid. And then they just didn't call a timeout, threw the ball deep, and time expired. And they never gave themselves a chance to win the game.
There had to have been people in Eberflus's headset telling him, "Hey, Matt, you gonna call a timeout here?" But I guess I don't know. I mean, shouldn't Caleb Williams also be calling a timeout?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It just seemed like there was total confusion and no one had a plan for what they were going to do, and that ends up on the coaches. So like Caleb probably should have just been like, "Fuck it, call a timeout" at the end there. But it seems like they were in his head being like, "Let's go, like run a quick play, not use the timeout. We can use the whole field, whatever we need to do." And then the play took too long to get in, and guys didn't line up because that's a really fucking stupid thing to do. And then it just got to the point where there was no time, and they were like, "Fuck it, just go deep." And like I said, I think it got to a point with like about 10 seconds left where Eberflus was like, "I'm going to look too stupid if I just take this timeout now."
Well, mission accomplished because he looked stupid either way, and now he no longer has a job. But I don't think he was going to have a job by the end of the season either. I think it's the first time in forever that, or maybe ever, that the Bears actually fired their coach midseason.
It is the first
Um,
time ever. Did you see they made him do a press conference Friday morning before they fired him?
yeah, I love it. I love it. Yeah, I
They,
mean,
they,
like
they made him,
ultimate troll. Like he had to know he was going to get fired.
they made him do a press conference, and he said he was preparing like he was going to coach this next week, and then he got fired like 20 minutes later.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love it. I mean, Eberflus is a fucking moron. So I
it's
don't really,
it's incredible. He's
I don't
lost in
have
3
really
games
any
this year.
sympathy. Did you? I mean, their overall. Did you see what their overall record was under him? I think it was like 14 and
Yeah,
something. I think he had 14
it was like
wins over
14
what,
and
3
32.
years, 4 years?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was something ridiculous. I cannot believe he made it
uh,
that far.
not good.
I
But
mean,
he's
Caleb
gone
Williams
now.
looked good. Caleb Williams, I don't. Well,
Yeah,
like take it back. He
he
looked good
keeps
in the comeback. I mean, they didn't get a first down until what, like the third quarter?
yeah he keeps on uh, like doing enough to start looking really good at some point, and then the Bears just in general lose the game because they suck. That's
I,
that's about
I
it.
also hate.
It's
I also hate how people keep saying that Caleb holds onto the ball, and that might be true in some plays, but majority of the time, like he has absolutely no time. Like I
yeah,
can't tell you how many video I've seen of just like the lineman just waltzing past a offensive lineman, and
yeah. It's
the offensive lineman realizes he's beat and just doesn't do anything. doesn't
yeah.
do anything.
The other thing that I noticed happening a lot. I haven't watched their game since they fired Shane Waldron, but when they had him, like he would drop back, he would get no protection, and then all the receivers would just be running 30 yards down the field.
Yeah. So
It's
like,
just like
where is he supposed to do? Like, like
he would have no outlet, and everyone would be guarded 30 yards down the field.
yes,
Uh, Still high on him, but
yeah.
yeah, I think I did tell you this, but it's kind of doing stuff. I saw this game was getting close. I was watching it. My wife walked in the room, watched the end with me, and then she just turned to me and she said, "Did the Bears coach do that on purpose to like for gambling?" And I was like, "No." And she goes, "Just why? Why would he do that?" And I said, "It's very dumb." And she goes, "It had to be like for a reason. Like it. She couldn't grasp it in her mind that it was just that stupid. She was like, he had to have done this for a reason."
Um, yeah. That's your wife doesn't know ball. Obviously, she hasn't watched enough
No, she doesn't
of
watch any
bad
football.
football. I was gonna
She just
say,
watched it, and
especially bad football.
she thought that the only way that was possible was because somebody was throwing the game. No, he's just an idiot.
Uh, NFL rigged.
All right.
Um, you didn't put this. I didn't see this game on here, but we got to talk about this. The Chiefs,
Oh yeah, I
like
forgot about
this
this
is
game.
getting ridiculous with the
I'm here for it.
Chiefs.
I love it.
So did you not include this because you support the NFL just carrying the Chiefs to
No,
another Super Bowl?
I'll be completely honest with you. I didn't watch a second of this game. I forgot it happened.
Um, the way that the game ended is still mind-boggling because I guess I mean first of all I mean the Chiefs just did the same thing the Chiefs did where they just like let the other team hang around the entire game, didn't really do anything, and then like it came down to like the last possession, and so it was just like typical how it worked. But I mean, the Aiden O'Connell looked pretty good. He didn't turn the ball over. Brock Bowers is insane. It's pretty much their offense is just waiting for Brock Bowers to get open, or if he's like slightly open, just throw the ball in his direction and he can catch
Yeah.
it. Insane that he is a tight end. But the way the game ends is there's some confusion on the Raiders line. They're like driving to kick a field goal. They're kind of near the 50. And I don't know what happens, but they end up snapping the ball. Aiden O'Connell was not ready for it. Ball bounces off his chest and falls to the ground. The Chiefs recover the ball, but there was a flag before like the snap really went off. So if there's a flag and the play was blown dead,
Was it blown dead?
and it was blown dead, they
Was
called
it?
a dead ball false start on the Raiders. That like literally came out. The ref that threw like from the sideline was running in to kill the play, and then all of a sudden they realized that the Chiefs recovered the ball, and then they changed the call on the field to a illegal motion or something like that on the Raiders, which no longer is a dead ball foul.
Yeah. So it wasn't a dead
And
ball foul.
but if you okay, so you didn't watch it. If you watch it, you could see the sideline ref sprinting onto the field, calling the play dead, and then signaling false start.
You don't know why he was sprinting.
Before the ball was recovered by the Chiefs.
Maybe there was a bee near him and he's allergic and he had to get away from that bee, so he ran in towards the play.
Okay, I know you're doing a bit. But anyways, yeah. So they they change it to the illegal motion. They give the Chiefs the ball, and that's how the game ends.
Yeah, I have no problem.
I don't know how that happens. How do you change a dead ball foul into a non-dead ball foul?
Well, it wasn't a dead ball foul.
They called dead ball foul, and all the Raiders players stopped playing.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It was an illegal shift, legal motion.
You did it right. Okay. Can you pull up the play?
I did see this play and I just saw it and I was like, oh yeah, that happened. Yeah, that tracks.
That tracks as in like the NFL is just helping the Chiefs.
Yeah, it just tracks.
Okay. You got anything else to talk about this game?
Taylor Swift was there. I did see that.
Okay. All right, let's move on to college because you just Anyways, college. You also didn't leave this. I think you're just strategically leaving games out to talk about because you don't want to talk about them. I think Travis Hunter has solidified
it was against fucking Oklahoma State. Give me a fucking break.
I think Travis Hunter has solidified.
Boise State played a tougher schedule, and that's a fact. Congratulations, he ran a 5K yesterday. He did a turkey trot. Let's give him every award possible.
He scored 3 touchdowns. I think did he score one on defense? I think.
Nope.
Yeah, but he did have an interception.
On defense, he had one tackle and one interception where the Oklahoma State's quarterback threw it into quadruple coverage. Congratulations. Crown him.
Yeah, I am going to crown him. The more you look into what Genti has done, not that impressive. He's not the only running back who's done this. He's just having a good year, and it's nothing exceptional. Travis Hunter is definitely just an exceptional player.
If only there was a quarterback on a top-ranked team that has put up better numbers than the last 4 Heisman winners in every single category. If only that happens, that guy would clearly win the Heisman, right?
Yeah.
Oklahoma State. I think Oklahoma State finished 0-8 in the Big 12. Congratulations.
Doesn't matter, man. Listen, you can't go from loving Colorado now all of a sudden you're going to discredit Colorado. I thought you were back on the Colorado train.
No, remember, it's a horseshoe. I was right at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
And then I'm back to being right. They suck.
Okay.
The real game. Georgia Tech, which I didn't know. Did you know this game is called Clean Old Fashioned Hate? That's what they call this game. That's the worst nickname in sports. That's a horrible name. Every other rivalry game has a cool name: the Civil War, the Holy War, the Apple Cup, the Egg Bowl. And Clean Old Fashioned Hate.
Yes, I like it.
That's terrible. No, it's awful.
I like it, but I don't see as a Georgia as a big, because I don't take Georgia Tech as a serious team.
Oh, they're very serious.
But they look pretty serious. They looked pretty serious last night. Did they look pretty serious, or is Georgia just I don't know what I, what's wrong with Georgia?
I don't think they're ready for this physical ACC play.
Yeah, okay, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, Georgia is a combination of not good, and I think Georgia Tech. I was thinking this yesterday as I was watching the game. LSU should just go hire Georgia Tech's coach because that guy is very good. I don't know
I don't
why.
think he's gonna leave. I don't think he's gonna leave Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I think he's a Georgia Tech alum.
Yes, he is.
Um,
Um,
yeah, Georgia Tech is good. I think they lost like 3 games in the middle of the season where they didn't have Haynes King.
yeah,
Just
Haynes
playing for
King
their 7 and 5.
is
Yeah,
Haynes Kings is ridiculous. He is legitimately very very good.
yep.
Georgia's defense just doesn't look like your typical Georgia defense. Um, what's his name at quarterback? Why am I blanking on his name right now?
Carson Beck.
Carson Beck. Um, didn't look bad, but his receivers just kept dropping passes. I don't
Yeah,
know, like
their receivers aren't very good.
yeah. So I actually don't blame this game on Carson Beck, but Georgia receivers just very open passes or very catchable passes. They were not catching. That's kind of why Georgia lost or didn't lost, but they were close to losing.
Yeah,
Um, game went to 8 OTs. I think I fell asleep at OT number 4. Then I woke up.
yeah. So I kind of like how start of the third OT, it's just a 2 point conversion off.
Yeah,
Uh, two things that needs to be fixed. Just pick a side of the field and do it on that side of the field. I think the whole team should come onto the field behind the teams. That would rock instead of everyone sitting on their sidelines. But it was every single OT. Everyone had to walk down to the other side of the field, and then we all had to watch them walk down to the other side of the field. And then each team got one timeout every single overtime. So Kirby Smart was just taking a timeout every single time after Georgia Tech lined up. He would line up, they would take a timeout, he would come up with a different defense, and then they go back out. So he took like 9 timeouts in this game, which is
yeah. Why
absurd.
wouldn't he? Why
Yeah,
wouldn't he?
yeah. It should just be no more timeouts. Just go line up, do 2 point conversions. Everyone's on the field, like at the 20 yards or behind. I guess you couldn't do that because
It's
you
not
could still
fair.
have a return touchdown. Yeah, but just pick a
Exactly.
side of the field and just go. Just go.
You can't do that either because I mean, especially like neutral site games, and I get it's not a neutral site game, but um, what side of the end zone does matter.
Yeah, it does matter. That's why you do the coin toss at the beginning of the overtime period. Just pick a side of the field.
Yeah, but like in every other period, in every other quarter, the sides flip. So why would they not flip it on OT?
Because it's just a 2 point conversion off.
Doesn't matter. It still counts as a brand new quarter.
It was a waste of time. But Georgia didn't end up winning in 8 overtimes. It kind of just seemed like Georgia Tech ran out of gas. Haynes King got the shit kicked out of him the entire night, and
But he
he
kept
just
getting
didn't.
up.
Yeah, no, he didn't really have anything left in the tank to convert those 2 point conversions. But it was fun.
Yeah.
I think we're now realizing the SEC is in fact not different, and in fact they struggle with run-of-the-mill ACC teams.
No, I already said this. I don't think this is the SEC's best year. By like I mean, I think they've been on a kind of decline the past couple of years. I do think like just the landscape of how the college football has changed with NIL and transfer portal, all that stuff. It actually kind of makes it easier. Like the SEC teams can't just like hoard all these players.
Yeah,
And you see it this year with like a bunch of commitments flipping. Depending on how their original team is performing or coaches and stuff. So um, maybe this is what people wanted. They're finally getting what they want. Whether you just don't have a dominant conference. However, to your point, the people who do the rankings haven't caught up to
No.
that yet. So there is still kind of like this bias towards these bigger like SEC, Big Ten biases where they're still kind of treating them like they were, a couple years ago.
All I know is Georgia could never get on a plane, fly to Cal, and play the woke mind virus with a 10:30 p.m. kickoff. They could never do that. They would never survive. Georgia could never play in the ACC.
This is the same person who was saying that traveling shouldn't matter, flying shouldn't matter, and now you're saying it doesn't matter.
It has more to do.
It only matters if it's. So it only matters if it's a SEC team flying and playing a late game.
It only matters. It only matters if it reinforces my argument.
Okay. Yep. Horseshoe, right?
Yep. I don't know if you caught this after the game, but after Georgia won, ABC put up a graphic that said Georgia has 31 straight home wins, tied for the most all time. Incredible, right? A new record, most consecutive home wins, the most all time, 31. What do you think about that stat? Incredible, right?
I mean, I'm going to say yes, but you're going to have something to counter that.
Not even close to tied for the most all time. Clemson has a 40-game home winning streak in their past, and Miami has the record at 58. It's not even remotely close.
It's good for Georgia, though.
It's tied for the most all time, 31. SEC is propaganda. They're lying. They're putting fake news out there.
I mean, it works. So
it does kind of work. Everyone saw that. It's like, wow, the most all time. That's incredible. They're 9 away from second.
Who's fact checking them? No one's gonna.
Apparently, no one.
No one's gonna fact check these things real time. And by the time you get to us, by the time you get to us talking about it on podcasts and sport, like nobody cares enough. Yep. Like it's like whatever. In the moment, you can say whatever you want.
Yeah, I hope Miami takes down their banner they have in the stadium that has their record, and they can give it to Georgia.
There you go.
You want to talk some NBA stuff real quick? And by NBA stuff real quick, I mean the Orlando Magic. They won last night in the Emirates NBA Cup. They're now 3-0 in their group, and they have the best point differential in the NBA, which is the tiebreaker if they don't win the group. And on Tuesday, they are playing a nationally televised game against the Knicks in Madison Square Garden to decide the winner of their group and who will move on.
They did play the Nets, and the Nets are probably one of the worst teams, if not.
Yeah, the Nets are bad. Yeah, the Nets are not good. So the Magic are 3-0 in the Cup so far. They have played 3 of the worst teams to get there, but they do have the best point differential. So they've played the Nets, the Hornets, and the Sixers. Again, 3 of the worst teams in the NBA, and you can't argue with that. Yeah. But yeah, they'll play the Knicks to see who wins the group, and if they don't win, they're still actually in pretty good shape to move on because of that point differential. So America's team, some are saying.
Congrats to the Magic.
Some are saying. You want to do a quick preview of some of the college football games going on today?
Sure. Some real bad games, but yeah.
There's actually some good games. I was looking at them. There's some good games. Michigan, Ohio State is today. That's not a good one. I don't think that's going to be good.
And they're hyping it up like it's going to be a normal like rivalry game. But Michigan is very bad.
Ohio State's favored by 20 at home. I don't know how. It'd be very funny if Michigan won. Here's a sneaky one for you. Tennessee at Vanderbilt. Diego Pavia, senior day, Nashville. Could be something there. South Carolina at Clemson is sort of a big game.
This actually probably would be one of the better games.
Yeah. South Carolina could still sneak in to the playoff, and Clemson can too. But neither of them can lose today. So that actually, it's a rivalry game, and it's essentially a playoff game.
Loser leaves town.
Yep. Notre Dame at USC.
Who cares?
Yeah, I think Notre Dame's going to lose this one. I just keep saying that, but they're not good. Auburn and Alabama, Iron Bowl. See, there's another one, Iron Bowl. That's a cool name. We have good, clean hate.
I mean, I don't know. I think Alabama could lose this game.
Yeah, it'll just be a fun game to watch because some weird shit will happen.
Yeah.
Weird shit always happens. Miami at Syracuse, an elimination game also for Miami. Not super confident. Syracuse's offense is pretty good. They're the best. They're like the second best passing offense in the nation. I have heard some rumblings. Apparently, Syracuse has the worst run defense of any Power 5 school. So hopefully, maybe Miami can just run the ball and they can have one 60-minute drive.
This is going to come down to the last possession.
Yeah, it'll come down to last possession, or Kyle McCord loves throwing picks.
That's true.
So if he takes a few too many gambles, I don't know, against Wake Forest and Hank Bachmeier, they looked pretty good last week.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to win this game. I kind of don't think they are. Florida at Florida State. Florida's favored by 17 on the road. I mean, that's just it's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually I like watching this game. I don't think I'm going to tune in at all for this game.
Yeah, no, I'll tune in and hate watch a little bit, I think. Oh, no. Everyone's going to pick Miami.
Except for Kirk.
Did Kirk switch it up?
Kirk picked Syracuse.
Oh, thank God, Kirk. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll watch UFFSU just to see FSU be sad.
I wonder how many FSU fans are going to be there.
It can't be a lot. Texas and Texas A&M. First time in a while. A&M has to win. Texas probably still makes the playoffs even if they lose. But A&M has to win to make the SEC championship game to be able to make the playoff. So we got some real stakes in that one.
Can you name the quarterbacks that played in this game the last time this game was played?
The last time it was played was probably like 2010, somewhere around there. Am I right?
Yeah, 2011.
Okay. I'm going to guess Josh Freeman. Am I close? No. Ryan Tannehill.
No. Ryan Tannehill. Yes. Who was the Texas quarterback?
It was Ryan Tannehill?
Yeah, it was Ryan Tannehill for A&M. He started off as a receiver at A&M.
Yeah, I know. Many people forget he's an athlete.
Was it Colt McCoy?
2011. It would have been it would have been Colt or like who's the other fucking guy? Like Garrett Gilbert or something.
It was Colt McCoy. Oh, it could have been Gilbert, yeah. Let's see. Texas. All right, you can talk about this game.
Yeah, some real stakes here. And then the Big 12 has some interesting games too. So we have Kansas State at Iowa State, and then Arizona State at Arizona. If Arizona State and Iowa State win, what?
We were right about it being a McCoy, but it was not Colt. It was Case McCoy.
It's Case McCoy.
Oh God! Okay.
I'll be honest with you. I forgot about Case McCoy.
I forgot that. Yeah, Case McCoy played.
No, Kansas State at Iowa State and Arizona State at Arizona. If Arizona State and Iowa State win, they will play. There's going to be a 4-way tie at the top of the Big 12, and they will play for the conference championship. So that means, I think between Colorado, BYU, Iowa State, and Arizona State, one of those teams is going to be in the playoff. That's not right.
Why?
I don't like it.
This is what the play like. You make no sense, man. Like the playoffs is supposed to be like this, and then now you're arguing that like these teams are going to be in it. This is what the playoffs is supposed to be about.
Yeah, I just don't like it.
You just do you like college football?
I do like college football, but I don't want to see Iowa State. I don't want to see. I don't want to watch Iowa State. It'll be like Iowa State, Ohio State in Columbus, and that game's gonna suck.
You don't know that.
I do know that.
Okay.
But yeah, that should be fun. It's rivalry. Always some stuff will happen. Who knows?
Great. Awesome.
Have you seen
Yeah,
who
I'm not.
LSU
I
is
don't know.
playing? Have you seen who LSU is playing for the rival for this week? It doesn't seem to make any sense. I feel like they should be playing someone. They're playing Oklahoma.
We'll probably lose that game.
Yeah, doesn't it feel like they have a rival they play? It's usually like state rivals. I guess Louisiana doesn't have any other good schools.
No. Yeah, I don't know who we usually play. I think we usually play Texas A&M actually.
Yeah,
So that's
it
not gonna
feels like they
happen.
should have. Yeah, it feels like they should have a more fun game this week.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure LSU usually ends the season with Texas A&M.
Yeah,
At least like since the A&M's been in the SEC.
yeah. Do you have a favorite game just in terms of names?
The game of the game.
Yeah, name of the game.
Um, the war on I-4.
Yeah, that doesn't exist anymore. It's bullshit.
Just saying.
The war in I-4 is good. I have to say I love the Holy War, which is BYU Utah. They've already played, and conference realignment has kind of ruined that game because that game should be this weekend.
Yeah.
There's no reason why it can't be. And then the Egg Bowl. I love the Egg Bowl. Mississippi State Ole Miss. I have no idea why it's called the Egg Bowl, but I love it.
Yeah, that was a bad game too.
Yeah,
Ole Miss, yeah, Ole Miss won.
it's the Egg Bowl.
Yeah, I don't
You
know
want
why
to
it's
take a
called Egg
break?
Bowl.
Tradition. You want to take a break and then come back with some NFL?
All right, yeah, sounds good. All right, guys, we'll take a quick break and then we'll come back with our NFL preview / picks. All right, guys, we are back. I'm gonna jump into our NFL picks and preview. I guess I will go first since Miami has already played and nobody wants to see them play again this week. Philadelphia at Baltimore. Baltimore is favored by 3. I don't know how I feel about this game. I think Philadelphia has got a good shot. I definitely think Baltimore is good, but something
You
is
said
off about their team.
you said last week they're frauds.
They are frauds. That's what I said. They're good, but there's something wrong with them. And I think between Vic Fangio, Kellen Moore, and Big Dom, they can figure out what's wrong with them and exploit it. And then Nick Sirianni's just going to cheer them on.
All right. I love Sirianni so much. I'm coming around to him. Never fire him.
He's fine as long as he has no real decision making. You know this.
Yeah.
You ever seen the movie The Other Guys?
Yeah.
Like at this point, I feel like Howie Roseman has just replaced Nick Sirianni's like play calling sheet with just like a fake. I don't even know
Yeah.
like
He has
where
a
they
wooden
only
one,
have his
a wooden training one.
like they gave him like a wooden gun like they did in Other Guys.
Yeah.
Nick Sirianni is just like going through the motions of being a head coach, but I don't think he's really doing anything that has any impact on the actual play calling in the game.
Yeah.
Which I'm totally okay with because it's obviously working.
Yeah, when the Eagles win this game, I'm just going to continue to say they haven't played anyone because you said the Ravens are frauds, and the Eagles haven't beaten anyone.
Okay, but do you think all right, do you think the Eagles legitimately have a shot at winning this game?
Yeah,
No, I mean, I definitely think if you want to talk about NFC, the Lions are definitely good, but the Lions like I don't know what's happening to them. I think injuries are catching up to the Lions. Um,
yeah,
and I think Philadelphia is like right there. I think Philly's right there as like the number 2 team in NFC. Um, but like it's not I don't think it's that far apart from the Lions Eagles right now.
yeah.
And
I feel like the Lions are bored right now.
I don't know what's going on with them. But anyways, like I think Baltimore, they struggle playing against the NFC. That's a proven thing.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Um
I forgot. But no,
what
no, 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 no. They don't.
do you mean?
Remember, Lamar is like 17-1 against the NFC. You have it backwards.
Oh,
And
that's what it is. Okay.
the only person he's lost to is Daniel Jones. Remember?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're
Yeah,
right. You're right. You're right.
yeah. So never mind. Yeah,
Um,
I'm all in on the Ravens.
I
I forgot about
don't
that.
know. I think I think we might. I don't know. I think Lamar. Yeah, like Lamar is going to be. This is a stupid thing to say. Lamar is a difference maker in this game, but he's a difference maker in every game. But for Baltimore, Lamar has to have a pretty good game because Eagles defense is solid. Um, I'm not that confident in Baltimore's receivers, so it's going to be on Lamar to make plays happen. Um, and on Philadelphia, I think, like I said, as long as the defense is doing enough to stop Baltimore, didn't even talk about Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, that's going to be tough to keep him and Lamar in check. Um, but on the offensive side, I just think as long as Jalen Hurts protects the ball, which he has been doing the past couple of weeks, I think it's gonna be a good game, and I think the Eagles have a very good chance of winning this game.
Yeah, I think this is also going to be a game where they're going to let Lamar run. They're going to be like, yeah, you can run 30 times today. This is one of the games you're allowed to run.
Yeah, I mean, probably. I mean, I'm gonna assume that his receivers gonna be locked up by our secondary, so he's gonna have to be moving around, and ultimately it comes down to is like how do you keep track of Lamar while still like covering the receivers. And our D line is very good. Our linebackers are good, but to watch out for Derrick Henry and Lamar in the backfield is a tough task for any team. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, should be a good game. Um, since I don't have a Dolphins game this week, I just picked Niners at Buffalo as an extra game to talk about. Only reason I'm interested in seeing this game is there's supposed to be like 2 feet of snow.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. Um, I think we're getting lied to though. They keep on talking about all the snow reports. I don't think there's going to be any snow. It's going to be all cleared by the time the game starts. But they're always like there could be lake effect. We'll see. I don't believe it.
I mean, lake effect has been wreaking havoc on the a couple of games. So um,
Lake
I
effect
think
snow
that
is crazy.
I hate how they've been talking about the snow in this game like since Thursday, and that's
Yeah,
like
no,
what 4 days
talking.
before.
Yeah, they're talking about it too much.
Yeah,
We're not going to get any snow.
yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, or they could just
um,
get dumped on. I mean,
no,
the
there's plenty more
49ers
snow.
just 49ers are just bad.
Yeah,
So I think like snow or no snow, I don't think that's going to have too much of an effect on the Niners playing well. Um, I
I
think
think Brock Purdy is going to look cold.
oh he's gonna be shivering like Mike McDaniel. So like they're like the same build. Um, so yeah, they're probably gonna bring back those big coats. Remember those big coats?
Yep.
Everyone's wearing those big coats on the sideline. Everyone's look comfy cozy. But yeah, I think definitely think this is Buffalo's game to lose.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think, and I just think it should be fun to watch if there is snow. If there's not snow, I want to have words with some meteorologists.
I mean, that's the easiest job to have. You just make up stuff.
Yeah, the government creates the hurricanes, and then they tell you where it goes.
Yeah, pretty much. Next game, not a bad slate for NFL too. So it's kind of scrapping to find games I kind of want to
Yeah.
watch. Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. Cincinnati is favored by 3, which is kind of surprising because I guess they're just not giving Pittsburgh any credit. Pittsburgh does have a winning record.
I kind of get like why like everyone still thinks the Bengals are like, oh wow, like they could be something here because like Burrow is good and they have Chase and Higgins, but also they just keep losing. So maybe they're just not a good team, right?
Yeah, it's almost like the Vegas is trying to will the Bengals into winning.
And on the flip side,
it doesn't really make sense to me.
It's like, the Steelers aren't very good, but also they just keep winning all their games.
Exactly. No, exactly. The line doesn't make any sense to me. I do think it should be a good game just because what you just said. Like the Bengals have the guys, especially on offense, and they're still fun to watch on offense, but their defense is just so bad.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen there. Russell Wilson's been kind of cooling off since some of the hot games he had. So, yeah, I mean, is there gonna be snow in this game? It could be snow in this game too.
Maybe snow in every game.
Yeah.
Is there a lake? Is there a lake in Cincinnati?
There's gotta be a lake somewhere near there.
I think you need a pretty big.
There's a lake in Cleveland. I didn't know there was a lake in Cleveland.
Yeah, it's one of the Great Lakes, isn't it?
I don't know these things. I live in Florida. We got plenty of lakes down here. We got no lake effect snow in Florida though.
We need like a big body of water.
Lake Okeechobee. Lake Eola.
I don't think Lake Eola is quite big enough.
Lake Eola is pretty big.
Yeah, Cleveland's. I got to look up what Great Lake do you think it is? Erie?
Huron.
It's Erie.
Okay.
Yeah, Great Lake.
Name all the Great Lakes without looking at them.
Off the top of my head, without looking at them, I'm going to go Erie, Huron, Michigan, Ontario. Let me zoom out on this. And Superior.
Okay.
You asked me that question as I was looking at a map of all the Great Lakes.
I know, and you continue looking at it. You fraud.
I was already looking at it.
Anyways. Well, you could have stopped looking at it. You could have clicked out of it. Anyways, anything else on this game?
No. But yeah, it's one of those games where one team should be better, one team should be worse, but they're not. And for some reason, everyone still thinks they are. Yes. The game I picked this week, I think, is a weird one. It's just the Chargers at the Falcons. Chargers are favored by 1. That's a weird game, right?
Yeah, because I guess you kind of know what what Chargers you're going to get. You don't know which Falcons are going to show up.
Yeah, and I think Dobbins is hurt. Chargers are going to be down running back. The Falcons, they feel like they should be risky, right?
They should, but I mean...
But are they?
They've had some really bad losses. They've had some really, really bad losses.
Yeah, it's like they could still win their... they can still win their division, but I don't understand it. And like the Chargers need to win every game that they can to make sure they make the playoffs because there's no guarantee. Yeah, Chargers are 7-4, Falcons are 6-5. It feels like a big game, and it's a weird game, and it feels like weird stuff's going to happen. It'll be inside, so I think there's only a slight chance of lake effect snow in
Yeah.
Atlanta in a dome. But they may open that butthole. You never know. We don't
Yeah, I
talk
mean,
enough about
like,
Atlanta Stadium just being a giant asshole.
I mean, there are a lot of assholes in Atlanta, so it kind of makes sense. Um,
What do you have against
yeah.
Atlanta?
Huh?
What do you have
You've been to
against
Atlanta?
Atlanta?
Atlanta is like a shithole.
There's Buckhead. I think they have a place that sells
Great,
hot dogs.
great,
Coca-Cola.
awesome. There's an aquarium there. The Clinton
That
News Network is based there.
that strip club that does really good chicken wings.
Oh yeah, what's that place called? I can't think of
Is it Magic
it's called.
City?
Magic City. Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
some basketball player who was like had temporary leave like from the bubble in
Lou
Orlando.
Williams. Lou
Yeah,
Williams.
was photographed in Magic City. Oh God. Uh, yeah, it's not that bad. It'll be a weird game.
Yeah, I hate when the line is like that. I hate
Yeah,
like I want to stay as far away as possible from this game. All right, you want to go into our locks?
yeah. Our locks of the week.
All right, my lock of the week. We already talked about this game, San Francisco at Buffalo. I'm going to take the under 44 and a half. I think with the snow, this is a guaranteed. There's no way they're going to hit 44 and a half. Even Buffalo. Even without the snow, I have a hard time believing that San Francisco will score. So to me, I feel like the under is a pretty good pick this week. How do you feel
I don't
about it?
hate it. I don't hate it. But what if there's no snow?
I still think, like I said, San Francisco has a hard time scoring.
Yeah.
If it's not so, it's still going to be cold, and the Bay Area gets chilly, but I don't know if they're used to playing in like less than 30-degree weather. Which I think the high right now in Buffalo is 30 degrees for that game.
Yeah, I don't hate the pick. I think we're being lied to about the snow. So
We'll see.
My pick of the week is I'm taking the Steelers +3 at Cincinnati. Like I said earlier, the Bengals should be a good team, but they don't win, so that means they're a bad team. And the Steelers should not be a good team, but they do win, which makes them a good team. So I'm just going to take the good team being better than the bad team, and that feels right.
I mean, obviously you're picking the Steelers to cover, but do you think the
Yeah,
Steelers can win this game?
yeah. I was going to take the money line, but I was like, it's not worth it. I'll just take the 3. Give me 3 points.
Okay, we'll see what
Yeah,
happens. Yeah, no, I already talked about it. I kind of feel the same way.
yeah.
You can kind of go either way. I guess it's the Steelers game to lose, which they could definitely do that because it's the Steelers.
Yeah. Also,
And the
TJ Watt's
Bengals.
going to have
I
like 10
mean,
sacks in this game. What's his name?
he's had kind of like a weird. He's had like a weird year though.
Breakout
Kind of like underperforming.
break breakout game. Joe Burrow loves to get sacked. He loves sacks.
Okay, I mean their O line is very bad.
Yeah, yeah. Joe Burrow's a big sack
Cincinnati
guy.
has no O line or defense in general. So I mean
Yeah,
it's basically, can Joe Burrow get the ball off to any of his receivers
and
or
and
Chase
they're
Brown?
favored.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy.
Should we end this with some garbage time?
Yeah, let's go ahead and end it. Top of the garbage time.
First thing I have here, and I saw some tweets. Do you know who Rod Wave is?
Is he a rapper?
Yeah, he's like a rapper, singer. Tua was mic'd up, I think, for the Patriots game, and the entire game he was just like, "I love Rod Wave," and he kept on like saying lyrics from Rod Wave songs. He's like, "Rod Wave is the best," and I had to look him up. Do you remember the John LaJoy song, the "I'm just a regular, everyday, normal guy"?
Not show me your genitals.
Yeah, what's that same guy? But it's "I'm just a regular, everyday, normal guy." and he just talks
Okay,
about
yeah.
how like he hurt his back moving, and now it's a slight inconvenience for him.
Yes.
That's basically Rod Wave, but like totally serious. His songs are just like he's singing and rapping, and he's like, I get social anxiety sometimes, and I overthink small details about conversations that I had, and it makes me sad. Also, like I'm trying to do
I mean,
my
it makes
best
sense
at
why
my
Tua
job.
would like him.
I
It makes
he's
sense
like
why Tua would like him.
I hope I get a significant cost of living increase this year so I can afford to buy more food.
So, like, I
That's just
mean,
all it is.
listen, like, okay, like rap and hip hop is supposed to be like you kind of tell the story of the streets and story about your life. I mean,
Yeah,
if Rod Wave's just a guy and he's expressing himself through rap, I mean,
I know.
I
I
like it.
love him. I love him.
I have so I wasn't sure when you asked me. I knew the only Rod Wave I know is the rapper, so I was like, why is Andrew asking me about this rapper randomly during the Miami game? Um, but I don't know, I do like Rod Wave. It's I don't know, it's like kind of like positive rap.
Yeah, it's like if I had a girlfriend, I would treat her correctly.
So I mean, this is like Will Smith. Remember Will Smith back in the day?
Yeah. Uh, no, I love it.
That's all you want to talk about, Rod Wave?
Yeah, I love Rod Wave. I'm a huge me and
Is
Tua
you is
Rod
he your
Wave
new favorite
fans.
artist?
Uh,
Okay,
I don't think he's
because that's
gonna. I
nothing
don't
to
think
do
he's
with
gonna.
Tua also liking him.
Yeah, what has everything to do with Tua also like him. I'm a Tua stan.
Gotcha.
Uh,
Okay.
my next I saw a tweet here. This was an all-time tweet from Dan Orlovsky. All-time weird guy, just in
You
general.
love Dan Orlovsky. I
I
think you just gotta. I don't
I
know
do
what it
kind of like him.
is.
I do kind of like him. He's terrified to
I
jerk
can't
off.
stand him. I can't
He
stand
has
him.
weird opinions about everything. But he tweeted out, "Watched Remember the Titans tonight for the first time as a family. I'm so grateful and thankful for football." that's, that's incredible. I love like he probably has kids and he's probably like, I don't know if they're old enough to get Remember the Titans. And he's definitely been planning this out. Like I gotta wait until like they can really understand the implications and about how Denzel Washington and uh, this white guy ended racism.
I mean, is Remember the Titans is not it's not the best football movie.
Uh, no, it is up there though.
It's up there, but it's like nowhere near the best.
It's got some pretty good ones. It's got the Californian sunshine kissing people.
Yeah.
That's very funny. Long hair. It's got the they end racism number one. That's incredible. Some great friendships.
Strong
Um,
side. Weak
yeah.
side. No,
Uh,
it's definitely a good movie,
it's
but I just feel like Dan
yeah.
Orlovsky just ruined it for me.
Yeah, no, it is great, and it's got Ryan Gosling being a complete liability in the defensive backfield.
That's true.
People
Forgot
forget
Ryan
that.
Gosling's in that movie.
Yep. Uh, Pretty good movie. And do you remember the coach's daughter?
You broke up. What you said?
Do you remember the coach's daughter, the little girl who
No,
knows way too much about
no.
football? Yeah, that's one of the funnier parts of the movie. It's just like a 12-year-old girl that's like always around the team that like yells at the players, and it's like your technique is all off.
Coach,
It's like this isn't happening.
coach's daughter, man. Coach's
Yeah.
daughter. That's a real thing.
Yeah. Ask the guy on Alabama.
All right.
I also love
Anyways,
I also do love just ending that. I'm so grateful and thankful for football.
yeah, he's such a loser.
No,
Dan
that's
Orlovsky is
awesome.
such a loser.
That is awesome. I love it. He's basically like it's like him and SEC wine moms handshake.
I think that's who he appeals to. Definitely his demographic. Like it's you and a bunch of wine moms that love Dan Orlovsky. They're like, oh, like he's like he's like trying to get these people into football that like I could care less if they watch football or not.
I love it.
And
I love
you
him.
somehow love that.
I love him.
You love to grow in the game the Dan Orlovsky way.
I just love Dan. I love Dan being himself and unashamed.
Okay, we'll see how long that
That's what
lasts.
Rod Wave. He's probably a huge Rod
Um,
Wave fan.
yeah, well, he could be. Rod Wave, I think, still cusses though, so I don't know if Dan Orlovsky is down with that.
Once his kids
I
turn
feel like if you're
25, he'll
afraid
show
to
him
jerk
some Rod
off,
Wave.
okay. Is that why he waited to show them? Remember the Titans? They had to make sure that they were old enough to
Yeah,
to be watching it for all the
probably.
explicit content in it. Okay.
He probably has
Uh,
like, it's probably rated PG, and he probably
yeah.
has like a book that details like this is how old kids need to be before they can handle PG. And
True.
under no circumstances can anyone handle PG-13.
Yeah. All right. Last thing. Just found this out this morning. Do you know Yao Ming has a wine?
I do now.
And it's rated. Apparently, Wine Enthusiast is
That's
rated
good.
at number 9, or not number 9, 94. They
Yeah,
got it. They
94
gave him a
points.
94 out of 100. So like, I just love it because I just want to say I'm getting drunk off that Yao.
Yeah, I wonder. I should look this up and see where this wine is from. Do you think it's a Chinese wine? Do the Chinese make wine?
I mean, you better buy some now before January, because the tariffs are going to make this like one of the highly prized wines. You can't even afford it.
I
You can't
know.
even buy it.
Do you think it's from China?
I mean, isn't he like the chairman or whatever for like the
Oh
Chinese
no,
Basketball Association?
yeah, it's from Napa Valley.
Oh,
It's a Napa Valley
I want to
18.
know.
Well, 18 was a good year.
Like, I want to know how he got into how did he get into wine?
All these guys do. They all drink a ton of wine, and I'm pretty sure if you just make a really expensive bottle of wine, you get like 90 something points from Wine Enthusiast. Just that's how it
That's
works.
true.
Yeah.
All right, I'm looking at a.
Lots of people are in wine.
All right, he's got 20 so far. He's got 20 lines of wine right now. Let's see. Some Yao Ming Cabernet Sauvignon, Yao Ming Lunar New Year Dragon, Yao Ming Family Table Napa. Let's see. Yao Ming The Chop 2017. Oh, he's got a nice little port.
Yeah, 17's a bad year. Don't buy anything Napa Valley 23. Just a heads up on that one.
23?
Yeah, don't buy a 23.
Why?
Too wet that year.
Okay. I mean,
if you didn't know, I did a Napa Valley wine
price
tour in 2023 and was told some insider information.
Oh, okay.
How much are these wines?
I did one last year. Or actually, not last year. A couple months ago. I was up in Napa. Or no, I'm sorry. I was not in Napa. I was in Sonoma.
Sonoma. Yeah, I did Sonoma and Napa. Yeah.
I prefer Sonoma. Sonoma's less.
Yeah, it's a little more down there.
Snooty.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever told you this, but we did this tour, and the last place we went to was a winery in Napa, and they had like art you could buy like in their tasting room. And you know how like artists, like a coffee shop will put up art, and then it'll be like you can Venmo this person, like here's the code, like it's $80, and you're like, that's a nice picture. I don't know if I want to spend $80 on a photo. They had sculptures that the price was $250,000 on it, and it just had a QR code that you could scan and pay. It was literally $250,000.
Yeah, I mean, if you're visiting Napa, you could definitely afford that. That's why I went to Sonoma.
Yeah, I could not afford that. Did you know?
Yeah, you can.
We did like
your wife is a doctor.
We did a tour with a driver, and the driver also did. They do pot tours, where they take you to a bunch of different like farms, and you get to sample the products. And we were like, "How does that work?" And he's like, "Everyone just gets super super high, and then I drive everyone back."
I feel like after the first dispensary or first like
I know
farm you go to, like it's just a wash after that. I
Yeah, I know,
like
right?
that makes no sense to me because like usually you're like high for a couple hours, so like
Yeah.
wouldn't you want need to like I don't know, this makes no sense to me. That's just it
Do
sounds like
you
a giant waste of money.
Yeah, and also like when you get high, you either get high to a point and then you stay high, or you get too
Yeah.
high and then you have
Yes.
a bad time.
Yeah. Yep.
So I don't know how it will work.
I wouldn't know that. I don't do drugs. I signed my Dare pledge and I took it very seriously in 5th grade. Not a hippie yuppie granola person like you.
No, well, it's all legal here, so
It doesn't matter. I got morals.
I have no morals. I'll do any drug. Not
Yeah,
really. I won't
maybe
do anything.
podcast will
Yeah, we'll edit this out.
we'll edit this out too.
Uh,
Anyways,
any more about Yao Ming's wine?
no, I think that's about it.
All right. Vandy's up 14-0, by the way.
Miami is up. I'm watching Clemson now,
No,
South Carolina right now, and
no. Vandy is up 14-0.
oh, Vandy is up.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Vandy.
We'll talk about it next week then.
I think you can make the case
All
they
right,
could be
guys.
in playoffs.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm gonna go ahead and end the podcast now.
Yep. I'm gonna go to the liquor store, buy some Yao, and slip down that Yao later.
Oh man, I'm about to get lit off the Yao. All right, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Peace, one love.
I'm getting there. When you masturbate, think about my tongue. Oh, your clit and switching back and forth. Switching back and forth from my dick to my tongue. Dick to my tongue. Dick to my tongue. Dick to my tongue. Switching